Following the presence of the CPI data report, Bitcoin experienced a beast decrease in regard, achieving focal hardships for individuals who had taken out Titanic credits to place assets into it. Today, we'll take a gander at the Bitcoin cost question. We'll check whether this is a horrendous sign and where we can make another trade. In any case, the CPI data report was lower than expected. Anyway, when the information was uncovered, Bitcoin was being exchanged for around 36,600 and didn't show up, obviously, to be affected by the CPI data. Obviously, if we start setting now in S&P 500 or US 100, we could see gigantic turns of events. Right, sadly, Bitcoin didn't go up. We just saw a straightforward degree of progress around here, followed by a fundamental obliteration of around 6%. Genuinely, we surveyed it, and we see a huge positive change in the CV. All through the new days, we have been seeing that our CVD pointer is showing new more miserable put spots down, while Bitcoin has been making really supporting put spots down. The CVD, joined volume qualification, is showing strong regions for crucial for an immense development. As we proposed yesterday, it's attempting to absolutely accept this increase considering the way that quite a bit early, we saw a basically foggy extension and sometime later Bitcoin's worth went down an inconceivable arrangement. The expense of Bitcoin went up an actually thought out plan. In this way, when we see a tremendous drop in the expense of Bitcoin, it regularly proposes the opposite will happen. Bitcoin dropped an astonishing philosophy, and it sends an impression of being a surprising and open door to buy more. A tremendous piece of the market. Finally, expecting you look at the liquidations, you will see that we have discarded 100 million of long circumstances in just an hour. Thusly, a fundamental number individuals don't have the stores of being all buying for a really long time this second. Furthermore, consequently, it will make the expense of Bitcoin go up. As of now, if we look at the Coinbase frame and the volume pointer, we can see that on this excusal light, there was a gigantic improvement in trading volume. Regardless, you'll see that Bitcoin showed up at a new low with really less trading volume. So on an incredibly fundamental level actuates that we will decrease here. We are purifying people's affinities in Bitcoin, yet how much Bitcoin being traded is at this point lessening. It doesn't exude an impression of appearing to be the market will have a huge drop in regard. Again, I will show you where the value of Bitcoin could start to go up, expecting we look at the central framework. We implied a specific level a few days sooner that could be a crucial occasion for the value of Bitcoin. We can generally present past what many would think about possible with a straight line. It seems like the expense of Bitcoin went up around the assistance with covering on the course of action. Additionally, when we use the Fibonacci numbers from unquestionably the base to the most raised point, it in like manner matches the splendid Fibonacci degree. What was the particular dollar full scale that was reached, assessing the ridiculous expenses with how much trading? The most raised sign of control or the most striking expense level in the upper expense range was reached authoritatively. Following appearance up at our assistance level, we are at present seeing another increase of around 5%, plus, focus on yesterday we explored that we could see a 5-wave cost plan dropping down. We said we felt the director's strong propensity as of now. Update, another astounding affinity could repeat. Another flop fixed. Moreover, clearly, we could likewise at any point expect another and last drop down. Anyway, until extra early notice, we ought to analyze the specific 5 striking costs going down. The persevering second, we are seeing a push upwards for the 4th wave, and that proposes the 5-wave cost structure is no longer valid. After the past CPI data report, Bitcoin got a fundamental pushdown, obliterating everyone with a high-impact long position. In the present Bitcoin cost notion video, we will take a gander at if this is right now a terrible sign and where we can be expecting to go with an ideal short or maybe a long trade. Yet what we will, unequivocally, see, the CPI data report came in ideally lower over expected. Anyway, around then, at that point, when the data was passed on, Bitcoin was trading at around 36,600 and was not absolutely answering on the CPI data. Clearly, in case we go right now, for example, with the S&P 500 or maybe with US 100, both of them got a fundamental push towards the sensible development. Unfortunately, Bitcoin didn't follow. All we got was very slight fanning out overall at this specific region, followed by a fundamental move towards weight of around 6%. At last, yesterday we studied it, we are tending to a gigantic bullish CV uniqueness. Constantly for the new days, we have been seeing remarkable every one of the more unpleasant halted spots being molded on our CVD pointer, while Bitcoin has been fundamentally outlining incredibly amazing genuinely propelling beat spots down, insane and a tremendous bullish CVD contrast. Yet what's more as proposed yesterday, unfortunately, when we see such a crucial bullish limit, we can't really remember it phenomenally thinking about the way that from our experience, for example, from 14th of September, when I posted that Bitcoin is seeing an insane negative uniqueness here. We got a fundamental accomplice on the Bitcoin respect itself. So it genuinely is obviously that when we are seeing an especially beast help happening in the Bitcoin within regards to itself, it is regularly going to happen thoroughly dumbfounding. So Bitcoin got an insane push towards the weight, and on this specific push down, since everyone, it appears as though we're entering what's happening at this specific region, again evidently, more unmistakable piece of the market. Looking at the liquidations, you will see we have gotten on only the 1 hourly fire convincingly 100 million of long assets getting completely racked and sold. Thusly, more essential piece of people as of the relentless second, it genuinely is obviously, are not holding a long hourly buy as of right now anymore. Furthermore, clearly, thusly, that is irrefutably going to be a bullish sign for the Bitcoin respect itself. At long last, expecting that we go, for example, with the Coinbase frame and with the volume marker, what we will see on this specific excusal light, we determinately got a huge volume spike, yet basic courtesy at this point going to see is that Bitcoin molded a faultless lower low here on a maybe lower volume. So on an unquestionably key level fathoms that we will bring down here. We are pulverizing people, or really we are selling people with their long positions, yet the volume of Bitcoin is at this point going ceaselessly lower, and looking right now at how much volume genuinely came in the market since it was lower versus what we got at this specific high, this is likewise not precisely going to be a particularly questionable Bitcoin sign, so permitted me to write as of now oblige you where we really skip since, in such a case that we zoom out to some degree, expect on the 4-hour time frame, we truly minded a couple of days sooner about an in general unbelievable corner-to-corner level. So we can generally work with our truly lifting diverted spots with a corner-to-corner support district. It really delivers an impression of appearing to be like the Bitcoin got a skip overall at our corner-to-corner support district here. Plus, driving forward through we go with our Fibonacci from swing low back to our swing high, it was additionally the incomprehensible Fibonacci degree. Essentially, plus, what level was hit by a confirmed perspective to the particular dollar exactness, assessing the entire upper expense fragment with the volume you will notice. Spot of control or the best volume pack of the entire upper expense movement hit unequivocally to the dollar exactness. After we hit our assistance locale we are right correct presently seeing another push towards the possible development of around 5%, moreover, outlined yesterday we reviewed that we can be zeroing in on some kind of a 5-wave cost structure towards burden. We said first inspiration here. Change. Another inspiration can be expected. Another change. Also, clearly, similarly then we can be expecting another and last move towards hurt. At any rate, the determined second, we ought to check out at this specific 5-way cost structure towards impediment. Before long, unfortunately, considering how we are right at this point seeing this specific push towards the possible extension for our fourth elliptic wave, the entire 5-wave cost structure is right over the long haul trashed. Incidentally, when the data was revealed, Bitcoin was being traded for around 36,600 and didn't appear, obviously, to be affected by the CPI information. Clearly, expecting that we begin setting now in S&P 500 or US 100, we could see monstrous expansions. Right, tragically, Bitcoin didn't go up. We just saw a confined level of progress around here, trailed by a significant reducing of around 6%. Truly we obliterated it, and we see a significant positive change in the CV. All through the new days, we have been seeing that our CVD marker is showing new more sad put spots down, while Bitcoin has been making truly supporting beat spots down. The CVD, firm volume distinction, is showing areas of strength for a critical turn of events. As we suggested yesterday, it's endeavoring to completely perceive this progress thinking about the way that following the presence of the CPI data report, Bitcoin experienced a beast decrease in regard, achieving. Sadly, we can't look at the 5 slipping waves right now. Notwithstanding, what we can separate is what's going on. I review that we can all agree that the expense advancement in this space seemed like it was progressing. Thusly, what's really thinking about how we are correct as of now seeing an extension over the last low, we can take a gander at an ABC update rather than a 5-wave slipping turn of events. We can say that we finished our work here. We finished our B wave and it seems like Bitcoin is additionally finished for the present. It is the letter C LNet wave, a kind of sewing machine. Moreover, the wick ignored several standards and we took enormous boatload of cash. We know this considering the way that different people lost all their money. Essentially, expecting you look at the money stream and RSI markers on a fundamentally more lengthy timespan outline range, like the hourly chart, you'll see that they are both showing that the stock is oversold as of now. It seems like obviously the base for Bitcoin could have been pursued as of now. We wrapped up changing our ABC here. Additionally, as such, we could see the expense of Bitcoin go up in the going with a few hours. This second, certain people will say that we're seeing several signs that the expense could go down in the next hour. This is considering the way that the 50-hour moving standard and the 200-hour moving customary have crossed each other. In any case, our 500 is lower than our 250 moving midpoints, so we are seeing a scarcely more delicate model on the 1 hour time span regardless. Got done, the model is correct now going up. Following 2 hours, really climbing. The time span is at standard stretches. Moving upwards, I think Bitcoin looks fundamental right eventually considering how its moving midpoints are going up and it has an other social event exchanging it, thusly, we will certainly see more huge guidelines in the going with a few days. If you haven't bought right now, we should consider buying at the typical level of 35,400. This is the standard level here. Has truly been used or gotten to. We truly need to make several essential contemplations in the going with 9 hours and 30 minutes. We will impart one more area of help at 35,500, which will be the most raised for that day. This level may not be pronounced for the present. It will be ensured, truth be told. The line on the standard improvement is organizing with the most essential and bottommost endpoints we've seen a ton early. This makes it a strong assistance locale for Bitcoin. Again, if the model goes fairly plunging, we could see it. What does that mean? Again, if the expense goes down and tests our assistance region, we with canning look at buying with a stop debacle under the past low or the standard assistance locale. Everything really depends on how much bet you are wonderful with taking. Right now place, since we also need to focus in on the hindrance district. When in doubt, we isolated this shielded region. Expecting that we interface the lower concentrates now, we can see an inclining line. Expecting we follow the Fibonacci numbers, we will see that the shocking degree is being attempted as the expense goes down from its high to its low. Again, that is the explanation I'm conveying, that if the expense goes down and doesn't go under the unthinkable Fibonacci degree, this is the locale we should focus in on for help. Coincidentally, if we develop our advantages beginning here rather than a higher point, it will match our previous highs and our organized level. Right now, the volume levels will be genuinely higher than the basic Fibonacci degree and our outline level. Anyway, sureness, if the expense goes up, the really focal level to watch is the eminent Fibonacci level of 36,800. Enduring, we climb sensibly. Try to coordinate the property of control and the value area high on your framework. Regardless, really think we look great and positive right now that we know unequivocally where our stop debacle level will be in case our assistance region doesn't hold. I would despite concur that we are going lower with less trading progress since people are losing cash right now. As per my perspective, we really look marvelous and certain, but we genuinely need to know where our stop level is if the market deceives us that we have not showed up at our old level of help, yet rather we are trying to get there. So unfortunately we can't just there of psyche while take a gander at something else about this 5-wave drop down. In any case, what we can take a gander at is really going to be a truly more bullish circumstance. Finally, I figure we can all agree that this specific expense advancement at this specific locale did look particularly recovering, right? So, thusly, what's more, since we are right at present seeing a drive up off the past low here, we can take a gander at an ABC correction as opposed to the 5-wave drop down. So we can right as of now say we completed our area here. We got our B wave, and additionally it is obviously Bitcoin right at present wrapped up. It's C, Lnet wave. Basically, moreover, the wick here clearly ignored a piece of the past principles, and that suggests we got some liquidity. Furthermore, clearly, how we grabbed a lot of liquidity here, considering the way that as induced right now early, different people got completely decimated and traded. Plus, expecting that you go right now, for example, with the money stream marker with the RSI pointer on a higher term time span, on dejection-stricken individuals hourly, you will see oversold here besides oversold on the RSI marker. Thusly, truly is obviously that as of the relentless second, the base or perhaps some kind of a close by base for Bitcoin can really be in. We completed our ABC change here. Moreover, clearly, hence, maybe in the accompanying several hours, we can be expecting higher staggering lights on the Bitcoin respect itself. As of now, certain people are right at this point going to say, we are seeing 2 or 3 vigilant signs in our remarkable moving midpoints on the 1 hourly time span, since we are seeing a cross of our 50 and 200 phenomenal moving norm. In any case, would notwithstanding, considering how our 500 is under our 200 and under our 50 superb moving regular, all we are seeing is maybe annihilating model on the 1 hourly timeframe. In any case model, we, in light of everything, are still in an excursion. 2 hourly, still in a trip. 4 hourly stretch of time, still in an excursion. So considering right now the stunning moving midpoints on various time periods, taking as of now and looking at the liquidations here, additionally the volume, I would truly say that Bitcoin looks exceptionally bullish. Fundamentally, along these lines, most clearly we can be expecting higher obsessions in the accompanying 2 or 3 days. Besides, in case you haven't exactly entered a scarcely out of the plastic new wide or a buying position where we can be looking for a faultless long, clearly, here we had the standard level at 35,400. In the end, this standard level here has truly been tapped. So we ought to be really more creative soon, particularly in 9 hours and 30 minutes, we will ensure a scarcely out of the plastic new normal high term time span area of help at 35,500. This standard level here isn't requested as a right now. It will be, clearly, verified. On the average close, and this normal line here is changing unquestionably flawlessly with our past highs here other than with our past lows, and that begins this here is an uncommonly stunning assistance area for Bitcoin, expecting we are truly going to see another slight change back towards bother. So what's the importance here? In case there will be another push down, expecting there is genuinely going to be another retest of our assistance district here, we with canning on a very fundamental level with being wanting to go with a flawless long referencing point of connection position with a stop catastrophe put, maybe under the past low, or maybe under our standard high term time period area of help. Depends doubtlessly how much bet are you facilitated to take. As of now,